Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right.
Heard that before.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where three friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Sure do.
And play with different Skype backgrounds.
Today we're at the diner.
It's a very fancy diner. It's actually
cute.
perfect for our topic today.
It
It
really
actually
is.
super is. I saw the cactus and I was like, she's the one.
Yeah, we should take a screenshot of this for the blog.
I have been taking a screenshot of all of our backgrounds since we started doing this.
This one is
So-
very Albuquerquean.
It is. It's Albuquerque.
Albuquerquean.
Don't you worry, folks.
All right. Well, oh, fuck. I'm Kenyan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, fuck, I'm Lucy.
Ah, fuck, I'm Amanda.
And we have a very special fan pick this week brought to you by our fan picker, Annie Blackwell. And Annie has selected, or maybe it's Ani.
Ani de Blackwell.
Ani de Blackwell. I still haven't seen you in concert.
Tragic.
Tragique.
Annie has selected the topic of New Mexico crimes.
Yep. And I'm telling you right now, I'm mad at you.
Oh, why?
Because Amanda got the fan pick.
I got the
That's why.
case.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
She's rough.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
My case is rough, but also maybe the most bonkers one I've
What?
done.
No.
What?
Really?
It's bonks.
You've
Okay.
covered some cray.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's she up there.
Okay.
Yeah, New Mexico's a wild place. I hear.
Yeah.
I've never been. And
I love
I'm
it.
Pissed
I've
about
been.
it.
It's phenomenal.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love New Mexico.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I also love it.
I've never made it to the Southwest. Any of them.
It's amazing. You'd love it.
Yeah.
Nice
Gotta
dry heat.
The dry heat.
So dry.
Lots of aliens.
Oh, yeah.
We will get to the aliens.
Oh,
God.
great.
All right. Well, first, though, let's lube up. Amanda, what is our wine crime pairing for New Mexico crimes?
This is going to be tough today because I am still a little hungover from Luck of the Irish.
You don't say. I never would have guessed from your tone of
sake
voice.
pairing from
Demeanor.
the Irish.
Polishing off an entire bottle of sake because I wanted to get drunk, but I refused to drink whiskey. So I've made my bed. I'm lying in it. I get it, but I'm also not well.
You are balls deep in that bed.
Yeah, I live in this bed now. But so I want to clear up that Ani did say they would send a wine. And if you did, I do apologize. I did not receive it. And I don't know what wine you were going to send. So I just picked from my arsenal.
If it arrives later, we can see if it works as a forced
Totally.
pairing for another episode.
I'll make her work.
Yeah.
But based on my case alone, I grabbed Winc's Folly of the Beast Pinot Noir out of my cupboard because the folks involved in my case today are true beasts.
Okay.
You beast. Like, it's... Yeah, I'm rarely speechless. This case left me speechless multiple times.
All right.
So I'm going to need this. And for those of you who are not Winkers, I want to invite you to join the Winc Wine Club. It's an online wine club that delivers wine to your door. They were one of our first sponsors. We love them. We have been using this service for literal years now. It is a godsend, especially in a post-pandemic world.
I get a compliment like every time I have people over and I serve Winc wine or I bring it to a function.
Mm-hmm.
I get a
function.
A function.
Yeah.
I get compliments on the Winc wine.
It's such great wine, and the labels are so awesome. Like, just it's perfection. So if you have not ordered from them before, head to trywinc.com. That's trywinc.com/gals to get $20 off your first order. It's the
Do
best.
it.
You will
So-
not regret.
You won't. You won't regret. So the Folly of the Beast Pinot Noir, this is just a really nice kind of lighter bodied red, very easy drinking. It finishes nice and dry, but it's nice and fruit forward. You're going to get allspice, you're going to get blackberry, you're going to get red cherry, but it's balanced out by that sort of like classic leathery Pinot Noir element, which I love. I love a leathery red. I'm part of the leather community.
I love leather. Actually,
love leather.
Have I ever told that?
I just love leather.
Have I ever told that story on the
Suck
show?
on a leather keychain. What?
I don't
No.
think
Quick-
so.
Quick anecdote.
Always.
So my one of my aunts, when she was really little, they were doing like in kindergarten or something. They were doing like about me, you know, and you'd do a little drawing and tell your teacher the answers to whatever questions. And
I'm from Maine.
and so my aunt, it was like, what were the questions? It was like, what did you have for dinner last night? What do you want to be when you grow up? What's your favorite word? And then like draw a picture to represent that word or something.
Okay.
And my aunt, first of all, my grandmother, both my grandparents were like such lovely humans, amazing parents. They had 4 kids. My grandmother was a stay-at-home mom. She cooked a meal every night. Like
They were very straight edge.
They were
grandparents.
just
nuclear family.
1950s dream. Okay.
Didn't stray from the path.
No, but they were happy and good. Anyway, so my aunt, my grandmother comes to the school like the next day and sees all of the little kids, you know, forms up on the wall, and she sees Julie's, and it says, "What did I have for dinner last night? Donuts for diner." Because apparently, like, the furnace had blown or something. And so, like, it was like the one night in history that my
Right.
grandmother didn't
Donuts
cook a
for-
fresh meal.
Right.
And she had to, like, scramble with all the kids. And, like, I think my grandpa was, like, away on business and whatever. So it was like fucking donuts. You're
It
eating
was an
donuts for
exception.
diner. Yeah, the one time ever.
Yeah.
So what did you have for dinner last night?
Diner.
Donuts for diner. What do you want to be when you grow up? A Dairy Queen lady.
Yes. Yes.
Same.
1,000% yes.
I
And
wanted
what-
to do the gel icing on the ice cream cakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
And what's your favorite word? She said leather. And she drew
What
a
was her
belt.
drawing? Oh!
No.
And my grandmother was just like, oh my God. They're going to call CPS.
Did they come for your grandparent?
No, but it was, she just never lived it down in the whole, anytime people,
What's
I
your
think
favorite
about it,
word?
literally
Leather.
anytime people say leather.
I love that so much. You go, girl. Hell yeah, your favorite word is leather.
Also,
yeah.
speaking of like little children trying to spell stuff and it just comes
no.
out super wrong. I saw something from like a person I know in real life who's a teacher, and their kids one of their students was trying to spell cum,
Yep.
but they obviously spelled it C-U-M, and it was
a tricky one.
It was in such a sequence that it was like "mommy came on daddy" or something like that. I was like, oh no.
It's amazing.
No.
Too good. Children learning how to spell. I
Just
mean,
always funny.
always.
Oh, wow. Okay, well,
Back to the leather.
incredible.
What are we doing? Was it still the
This
wine
was-
pairing?
Yep, still the wine pairing. This is a California Central Coast Pinot Noir,
Leathery.
which is beautiful because their ecosystem allows for foggy mornings, like good watering, and cool evenings, which is like the perfect situation for Pinot Noir grapes. So she clocks in at 13.6% ABV. She is a popper. You're going to want to grab your Wine and Crime Gals iridescent wine key, my favorite thing.
Fuck
Got
yeah.
mine right here.
And
I've gotten so many compliments.
It's a real cute one.
Yeah,
It's
she
great.
cute. She hefty.
She is. She's
It's
like
good quality.
Yeah, she's strong, unlike me, who is struggling to get it into
And the
cork.
worm is iridescent too.
The worm. The corkscrew. Yes.
It's called the worm.
I refuse.
Je refuse.
Do the worm. Okay, let's see if I can finagle a little pop here. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh!
Wow.
That was good. That
It
was a
sounded
nice
like
pop.
we were in like a desert canyon.
Oh, it echoes. An echoing pop.
All right. Well,
Oh.
cheers.
She
God bless.
is.
Hopefully it goes down a little easier than that sake.
No, I don't want it to go down easier than the sake. The
I
sake
think
goes
that
down,
went down
too easily.
real easy.
That's the problem.
Well, you'll make your
Alright.
choices. All right.
I always
Well,
make the wrong choice.
Cheers, folks.
cheers. All right. Lucy, what is our background and probably not psych for New
Surprise,
Mexico
it's all
crime?
psych.
What if it was?
That'd be amazing.
I'm going to shake these bones for maybe one of the last times. Because that person was right. It's almost all dust at the bottom of this jar now.
Awkward.
It's not like goat bones are that hard to like get a
Acquire.
hold of, but at the same time, I don't want to go through the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to be sustainable in your
Right.
goat bone usage.
Sustainable.
Right. Sustainability is key.
So New Mexico is the 47th state admitted to the Union.
Better late than never.
Better late. Better mid-war than never. And surprisingly, it's the 5th largest state in the country. So if you look at a map, New Mexico's
She big.
bigger than I thought in my mind.
Huh. I'm going to have to look at a map.
She's pretty big. So despite this, New Mexico ranks 36th in population and 46th in population density.
It's
So,
like
there's
uninhabitable in the
there
desert.
still are not that many people who live there.
Mhm.
The whole population of the state is just over 2.1 million. And so in contrast, the population of the Minneapolis metro area is 3.64 million.
Wow.
So New Mexico she's sparse, baby. She's sparse.
Mhm.
Its capital is Santa Fe, but about 2/5 of the New Mexico residents live in Albuquerque.
Mm.
Also, my cousin lived in Santa Fe. Did I already say this? Yeah.
Did you?
I don't remember. But I have always wanted to go to Santa Fe because I think they have like a fantastic art scene.
Yeah, everyone
like,
has
really
always
fun
said it's
food.
incredible.
Yeah. I want to go to Santa Fe.
Let's go.
Let's go. Santa Fe show.
That can be our retreat, our annual retreat that we
Yeah,
have never
right.
taken and
Yeah.
haven't really talked
It'd be
about.
great if we started
our
that.
inaugural annual retreat.
Kind of like our quarterly meetings.
That
Listen,
happen once a year.
Yep.
I
It
make
lands on a quarter
I always make fun of Zach because as a principal, he's just in meetings
constantly. Yeah.
It's like, what do you have to possibly meet about that often?
Yeah.
Do you
I was
not
like-
text all of your staff
Right.
All the time.
on the hour at least every day?
We have a quarterly meeting once a year, and that suffices.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Once
fine.
a day.
It's fine.
We have a quarterly meeting once a day.
We'll actually get to the quarters of the day in a minute.
Oh.
This is from Encyclopedia Britannica, my lover. Quote, the area that is currently New Mexico was claimed by Spain in the 16th century and then became part of Mexico in 1821 and then was ceded to the United States in 1848 through the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which was the treaty that ended the Mexican War. So
Okay.
similar to like our experience with learning about Canada, just like modern Canada.
Mhm.
Right.
we don't learn fucking anything about Mexico, modern Mexico, or like the wars that were waged along the southern border.
How we ended up with all of this land that we took.
So that process was through, we did learn about manifest destiny, which was actually way more fucked up than we ever like learned
You
about.
don't
Like
say.
we had the right to just go all the way to the Pacific Ocean and like basically as far south as we wanted to.
Yeah, just take it all.
So
White people just taken.
we just take it. So Mexico actually extended up through like Colorado, California, Nevada,
Texas.
like Texas,
Yep.
all that, but like as far north as those. And it was that Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo that set our southern border. Which it was all fucked up.
I
but
know
whatever.
so little about this period of history.
I do too. Which is why I was like, I gotta Google the Mexican War. What the fuck was the Mexican War? I don't know anything about that, which is pathetic. Tensions between New Mexico's Spanish American or Hispano community, also Native Americans, and the Anglo populations are a continuing reminder of the bitter antagonisms that characterize the state's long history. So there are still tensions between these groups of people. So it's not only like white, quote unquote, Americans, but also indigenous peoples and also people from like Mexican descent. It's a little complicated. New Mexico is part of the Four Corners, which is the only intersection of 4 states in the country. So it's like right angles. It's like a straight up intersection of New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado.
That would also be cool to visit.
Well, I've definitely been there with my family, and I have 2 parents and 1 younger sister, so we are all standing in the 4 corners holding hands.
Oh, cool.
But this was long ago enough that it's like an actual photograph, like a 4x6 photograph. I don't know
God
where
knows
the fuck
where
it
it is. Yeah.
God only knows. So, but I guarantee you I was wearing denim shorts that were like almost to my knees.
Yep.
It was
I
that.
can
It was
picture
that time frame. Yes.
It was the RV years.
Yep.
It was RV. It was before concealer and like eyebrow filler inner. It wasn't cute. I'll just say it wasn't. It's not a cute photo.
Predates cuteness.
It predates cute. I was probably 12.
Pre-cute.
It was pretty cute. 2 of New Mexico's most unique physical features are the caverns near Carlsbad, which are among the most spectacular natural rock formations in the world, and also the extensive gypsum sand dunes that make up White Sands National Monument in south central New Mexico.
Cool.
And these dunes were created by wind and water erosion. Gypsum, which is what they're like the sand that they're made out of, is decomposed limestone, which is also what drywall is made out of.
It sounds very soft.
It's very, very fine. So if you've ever done any sort of construction on your home,
Yeah.
and it's like a home built after 1940-ish,
You're gonna
It's
have
not
dust.
asbestos.
you're gonna have gypsum. It's not asbestos, it's gypsum. Very fine. It gets fucking everywhere. You might want to consider having your ducts cleaned out by a professional.
Absolutely do that.
Always clean your ducks.
Best
Clean
money
those
we
ducts.
spent.
Yeah. I need to get that done. Also, the dunes at this, the White Sands National Monument, the dunes themselves can get up to 60 feet high.
Mm.
So
Just
it's like,
rolling around based on the wind.
it's a beautiful white desert
That's so cool.
Dang.
with like different yucca plants, like spiky agave and like yucca and like just weird desert plants. The only animals are like lizards and mice, which are also white. So
Are
it's
the
just-
mice the kinds with like the huge ears?
Maybe. But another thing that I read was what's it called? Onyx. Or there's like a deer, African onyx. It's an animal. Yeah, onyx. It's one of those like antelopes that have the straight up
oryx?
horns.
Oryx?
No, onyx.
I
Oryx?
I think it's oryx. Mm-hmm.
You're right. It might be oryx. Well, it's like
I got nothing.
It's like a thick with 2 C's antelope.
Mm-hmm.
It's like light brown with like a black stripe and a white belly, and it has like straight up horns. And so the people in charge of this park brought them there to like see if they could survive, and they did. They originally only brought like 95 animals over from Africa, and they turned out to be like not invasive, but like kind of detrimental to the natural landscape.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're like still doing this shit.
Mhm.
Like we know it's bad.
Yeah.
I know.
It's never gone well.
There's
No.
like a booming, colorful, like parakeet population in Amsterdam
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's not right.
because of released pets
Mm-hmm.
that people did not want to take care of anymore.
And also, like
now
the
they
frogs
just
in Australia, unless that was just a plot in The Simpsons one time, I don't know.
I mean, it's probably
well,
fucking
in
true.
New Zealand, they fucking white people, first of all, brought rats
Mhm.
in their boats, but that was unintentional, but it still happened. And then to kill the rats, because they had no fucking predators, they had birds,
Mhm.
but the birds were not used to like hunting small mammals because there were
Right.
no other small mammals.
Mm-hmm.
So then they were like, well, I know, let's bring foxes to hunt the rats. And then the foxes started killing all the fucking birds.
It just
Let's
Yeah.
just not fuck with what we already know works.
ecosystems
Right?
are delicate.
Yeah,
They're
it's
extremely delicate.
I think it's great to reintroduce animals that used to live in a place and
Mhm.
then were like wiped out or pushed out, and now you want to bring them back in, like buffalo or wolves. It's easy
Like
to say
what
'cause I'm
you
not a
know
farmer.
Already works.
Right.
I just,
Yeah.
no. Don't experiment when it comes to ecosystems.
Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
We're not smarter than evolution.
No.
Nope.
Okay, so there are some of those.
Okay.
Also, you know I love a good state flag.
Yes.
So New Mexico's state flag consists of a red sun symbol of the Zia people on a field of gold/yellow. And this was officially introduced in 1925. It was designed in 1920 to highlight the state's Native American Pueblo and Nuevo Mexico Hispano roots.
Okay.
The symbology is designed to represent the Puebloans and the colors of the flag of Spain. So it's kind of recognizing the colonizers from Spain
Mm-hmm.
came to Mexico. Okay, great. But then also the Puebloan people who inhabited that actual region.
Mm-hmm.
So
Surprisingly progressive for a state flag compared to many that we've seen.
right. And especially one designed in 1920.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so looking at the flag, this symbol has sacred meaning to the Zia Pueblo people. So if you look at it, there's like lines of pointing in all 4 directions, red lines. I think there's three lines in each like direction, 4 lines, which makes sense. So the number 4 was very sacred, a very sacred number to these people. So 4 symbolizes the circle of life that includes the 4 directions, the 4 times of day, the 4 stages of life, and the 4 seasons. So
I like that.
lots of 4. 4 is also my lucky number, I'm just saying.
Ooh.
And then the circle around all of these 4 groups of lines sort of binds the 4 elements of 4 together.
It is a very pretty and simple design.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
It's really pretty. So this artist's winning design is the flag that the state uses today. And they also use the salutation quote, "I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico and the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures." And this salutation is commonly recited in New Mexico public schools after the United States Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, it's good to have hope.
Well,
Okay.
time to hit the old dusty trail.
Can you tell where my mental health is at?
We're all thriving.
Sure can.
Well, it's good to dream.
God bless the USA.
How optimistic.
Yeah.
Good on
So,
them.
also to what Kenyon, what you were saying, it's a very attractive flag. This flag is one of 4 U.S. state flags that does not contain the color blue.
I like
So
that.
those other 3 flags being Alabama, California, and Maryland. And it is also the only one of these 4 not to contain the color white.
They
so the-
almost escaped all of the USA colors.
Yeah.
Almost. You were so close. The flag of the District of Columbia also has no blue, but it is partially white, making the New Mexico flag the only U.S. flag with no blue or white. It is
Dang.
truly unique, and I would dare say maybe the most attractive.
I have a beautiful magnet that I got in New Mexico on our road trip that is based on the flag, and like it's like metal crafted and it's yellow, but it's like metal worked into the shape of a hot air balloon because they do like a huge hot air balloon festival, which you might be talking about.
do. I've not, but
But it's like yellow, it's all handmade, and then instead of red in the center, it's like carved out in the shape of the flag. It's really fucking cool. I love it.
cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, it's a very attractive flag.
New Mexico is gorgeous, and it's definitely, I mean, I say this with like, obviously through the lens of whiteness, but it's noticed immediately how much the little like details in the state do honor like indigenous culture
Well, they
in ways that I hadn't seen like in any of my other travels. in the
Minnesota
US.
does not do a great job.
No, we do not.
No, but I think to Amanda's point, and it might have something to do with sort of the sparseness of population and therefore the sparseness of like urbanization.
But I mean, even just like when you're driving and you go under an overpass of even just like a county road going over Route 66, like the overpass is steeped in indigenous like art that was like carved in, like that was part of the construction of that.
I can see that. I've only been to New Mexico like a little bit. I flew into Albuquerque a few years ago for a road trip, but you're absolutely right. Even in the airport, there were just like a lot of
I just noticed
Pueblo
it.
and artwork kind of vibes,
Right,
throughout,
in ways
the
that
whole
you
city.
don't. Yeah, that I hadn't seen it. And we drove a lot. I mean, we took like a whole 10-day Route 66 road trip, and it was like specifically the moment you cross into New Mexico, it's like, oh, there are actual homages to indigenous culture like everywhere, even in places that you wouldn't necessarily expect.
Sweet.
Absolutely. So New Mexico's fucking cool, and I do have a few fun facts about New Mexico to sort of round us out. So Santa Fe, the capital, was founded in the year 1610 and is the oldest continuously used seat of government in North America.
That's wild. That's amazing.
Because I think most, if not all, other states like had a capital. They started with like just the city on the river that had like the most economic progress.
Right.
But then at a certain point, they decided to move all of those capitals into something more centrally located in the state.
Right.
Like, for example, Iowa City used to be the capital of Iowa, but then they moved it to Des Moines because it was more in the middle of the state.
Yeah, easier for representatives to get there.
Exactly. So Santa Fe is like, it's always been
Santa Fe.
the capital of,
Cool.
yeah, it's always been Santa Fe. Also, there is a Roswell McDonald's that is in the shape of an alleged UFO.
Love that.
OMG.
I want to go to there.
Yes.
It's like the rock and roll McDonald's that kind
Rest
of
in
is no
peace.
more. I know.
Yeah.
RIP.
When's the best time of year to go?
To the Roswell McDonald's any time of year.
Roswell McDonald's.
When's
When
the
are-
best
When
time
are
to
the
visit?
chicken nuggets in
Yeah, when are they
season?
ripe? When are they most ripe?
I went in May and it was very pleasant.
Okay.
I would imagine like August. It also depends on where you're going to go because the eastern part of the state is very much like Great Plainsy, and then you get into like Southern Rockies territory. So the natural landscape is varying.
But like prom's not summer.
I would say avoid
Little
summer
hat.
anywhere close to the equator, anywhere remotely close to the equator as a Minnesotan. But
Yeah. Could we book the Roswell McDonald's as a live show venue?
No,
Probably.
they'd lose money.
well,
They'd never
we'll look
take us.
into it.
I'm going to reach out to our agent about this. I'm getting ideas. Ideas are
Whenever we
flowing.
have to have a launch party for anything, I don't know what we're launching.
Yes, okay. We're
But
that's
if we're
the venue.
launching something, it's going to be from a McDonald's in the shape of a UFO.
It's either the
Done.
Roswell McDonald's or that fancy new Taco Bell that's going in Bloomington that delivers your tacos in a bank tube to your car.
What?
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
a wild and crazy Taco Bell going into like an old Wells Fargo where they're keeping the
It has
bank
like the
tube
suction
system
tubes.
Yeah.
to send
Yeah.
you your
Oh,
food.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah,
be
honey.
epic. It's in the works right now.
Imagine
The
having
Taco
to
Bell of
clean
America, right by the
all-
Mile of America.
all those perfectly square tomato
Yo.
pieces out of that tube.
You know that I will be requiring both of your presence here
To fuck up the
attend.
backseat
On
of your
opening
car.
day.
Opening day, fuck up my car. I don't even care. I don't even care. It's worth
We'll
it.
pitch in for your
My
total
detailing.
detailing of your car afterwards.
Thank you.
We'll pitch in for your chalupas.
Okay, so these last two fun facts that I have for you are my fucking favorite, and they are from Atlas Obscura. Shout out to Ben for helping me find these fun facts because, oh my God, they're so good.
Thanks, Ben.
So most rumble strips, like on a highway, like the bumpy part on a highway, alert drivers that they've strayed too close to the edge of the road with a loud grating vibration.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The grooved lines on a sleepy stretch of Route 66 near Tijeras, New Mexico, have a different trick up their sleeves. They sing.
Yeah, they're musical.
What?
On this quarter-mile section of the highway, the rumble strips have been engineered to sound like the song America the Beautiful.
Will
is
wonders
like-
never cease?
No, literally no. But they won't croon their patriotic tune for just anyone with a lead foot. Drivers have to be going exactly 45 miles an hour, which is the speed limit, to hear the vibrations in action.
So I've clearly never heard it.
No, you've never heard it.
No. Amanda heard.
Yeah, like a sped up record player. It just sounds insane. It's the sound you hear before you die.
So the quote-unquote musical highway was installed in 2014 as part of a partnership between the New Mexico Department of Transportation and the National Geographic Channel. It's designed to encourage drivers on the otherwise unremarkable stretch of the historic road to slow down and adhere to the speed limit.
Yeah, that's on like the original Route 66, not like the super highway that's
It's not
been
it's not the Autobahn
correct.
66.
Yeah, because the speed limit is definitely not 45 on
Other parts.
that route.
Yeah.
But yes,
Probably
But if
slows
you're
down
gonna go
near
down-
populated areas.
you have to do stretches on the original Route 66 on that road trip. It's so fun, and then you get like the wild roadside attractions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're going to go on 66 for the 66 experience,
Get off the highway at least
off
a
the
couple
highway,
times for
yeah.
a couple stretches.
My in-laws just did that too, and they loved it.
It's
Route
so fun.
66 is real kitschy and real fun.
It's wild. I would do it again in a heartbeat because we only got to see a little bit of it. And that was doing like 5 states.
Yeah.
So it's vast.
They did the whole shebang. They did more than just Route 66. 'cause I
Yeah.
don't-
They
I
went
don't
all the way
remember.
to Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah, they went
Jesus.
from upstate New York to Santa Monica Pier and
I
then
love it.
back.
Oh
Well,
my
and to even get
God.
onto Route 66
And
from
back.
upstate New York is a road trip because you have to go super far south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's wild. Good for them.
We should do Route 66 crimes, just saying.
Into it.
Okay, my last fun fact about New Mexico. After a lifetime building his New Mexico pistachio farm, also known as Pistachio Land,
My favorite theme park.
Alamo Gordo nut salesman Tom
Nut
McGinn, Nut King,
Alamo Gordo Nut King.
was memorialized with a roadside advertisement that now draws tourists from all over the country. The world's largest pistachio stands 30 feet tall and was constructed using over 5 yards of concrete and 35 gallons of paint to give the enormous green cashew a strangely real look.
So it's the world's largest pistachio statue.
Yes, it's not a
Pistachio.
Pistachio.
Pistachio. Like many oversized items littering the world's highways, this pistachio is there mainly to lure motorists into the McGinn's Pistachio Tree Ranch and
And it
winery
would work
gift
on
shop.
us. It would work on us.
1000%.
In a,
Billion.
yeah.
That is
Percent.
the purpose of giant statues.
Statues, yes.
We would careen off the road to make that exit.
Yes, absolutely. Unsurprisingly, there are a number of exotic pistachio-based products for sale, like chili chocolate pistachio brittle, yum, and homemade pistachio milkshakes, although
Yes.
nothing is as priceless as taking a nutty photo under the giant snack.
No.
OMG.
No.
I'm going to find...
I will eat anything pistachio flavored.
I
giant
love pistachio.
New Mexico.
And I've tried
I'm
the
gonna
pistachio latte at Starbucks, and it's pretty good.
Burger.
It's pretty good.
All right, burger. I'll take it.
I do have a photo of this that I'm going to drop on the
Yes.
drive right now. It's called the Big Stachio ish. It's definitely not a real pistachio, but
Well, no, it's made
it
of
kinda looks
concrete.
like it.
I hope for Halloween they put a mustachio on it.
Oh my god!
This looks like-
Mustachioed pistachio.
This is very vaginal, and I'm here for
It's
it.
It
real
really
vaginal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would,
Georgia
again,
O'Keeffe would have
Yeah.
queefed over this.
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Georgia O'Keeffe. Ew.
Would have really loved this pistachio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
So
All
anyway,
right.
those are my New Mexico facts.
Love.
Well done. Thank you to you and to Ben.
Yes.
Thanks,
Makes me want to
thanks,
go back.
Like I said at the top, you guys are not ready for my case.
Great.
It's honestly like,
Not even the fan pick.
I know. It's like Mad Libs, but
Oh,
true crime.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And also the names are wild. And that's just part of it.
Okay.
All right.
Am I ready?
So the first name that I'm going to say sounds very foreign to our white ass American ears, but we're not going to make fun of it because they are the victim. Okay. So Girlie Chew.
Okay.
Girlie Chew.
Okay.
Okay.
Was born on August 27th, 1963 in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
You can already
Girlie
see the New
Chew.
Mexico connections.
Oh, yeah.
This was
Strong.
not Girlie Chew is their given name. It's not like how in
Like an
China you have like an
Americanized-
American name.
That I don't know.
Okay.
Every report that I've seen, she went by Girlie Chew
Girlie Chew.
before she was married. That could very well be like an Americanized
Mm-hmm.
first name and not like her name in Malaysia, but I don't know.
Sure.
But we're going with Girlie Chew.
Girlie
Love
Chew.
it. Love it.
In the early 1990s, she took a trip to the United States and visited SeaWorld. I also read the San Diego Aquarium. I don't know which is true / if those are the same thing. I don't know anything about it. Here she met a fellow tourist, and this man's name was Diazen Hossenkopf.
Okay.
That
Diazen
sounds like a medication.
Yep.
Hossenkopf. If you're
Turn your head and
Hossenkopf,
Hassenkopf.
yeah, won't go away, you should get tested.
Right.
Do not take diazepam and Hasenkopf. If you're allergic,
If you're allergic.
to diazepam and Hasenkopf.
Yeah. Do not take Diazin Hasenkopf, and we will
Ugh.
get to it.
Oh, God.
So he told her that he was a trained thoracic surgeon and specialized in genetics research. I feel like those are different things.
Don't trust
But what
it.
do I know?
What's a thoracic surgeon?
Is it
Like your thorax? Like your torso?
thoracic?
I feel like I should know this because I watch so much Grey's Anatomy, but I don't remember.
I can't even
Thoracic.
spell it. Thoracic.
I bet it's like torso surgery.
It's Jurassic surgeon.
Oh my God.
Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Surgery.
They work on dinosaurs.
Esophagus. Chest, heart, lungs, esophagus. Yeah. Anything in your
Oh, your thorax.
top trunk.
You were
right.
spot on, honey.
All right.
I'm a doctor.
You're a doctor.
You're
now.
Diazin Hasenkopf.
I'm a thoracic surgeon.
So he said he was a thoracic surgeon, also said he was doing genetic stuff. We will get to it.
Genetic stuff.
Yeah. And that he had degrees from the University of Tokyo and Cornell Medical School.
Ever heard of it? I
I'll
went
check
to
with my
Cornell.
parents who both went to Cornell.
Yeah.
See if this is real. Well, one parent, because my other one's dead.
But they did both go to Cornell.
They
Can't
did
take
both
that
go to
from
Cornell.
them.
No.
Did your mom go to Cornell?
Yeah, that's where they met.
Oh my God.
I know,
I
little
was making fun of
smarties.
I was making fun of Andy from The Office.
Oh, I know. I know.
Did they get married before they graduated too?
My mom had not quite graduated yet. My dad had.
So young, such
I
babies.
know. They were children.
Okay, so the
Just
two
couldn't make it work. Just wasn't meant to be.
So one of them died.
after 34 years of marriage.
Pretty
Pretty
much.
sure they made it work.
I don't know. Jury's still out.
All right, so these two they did immediately hit it off, but they did not have a similar marriage to your parents.
Okay.
They hit it off. They exchanged contact info, but he doesn't live in San Diego. He lives in New Mexico.
Okay.
And she lives in Malaysia.
Right.
So she
A
goes
little bit of
back
distance.
and they start exchanging letters because it is the early 90s.
Aww.
In 1993, at 29 years old, Girlie decided to move to the U.S. to be with Hasenkopf, and the two were soon married. So
Poor
Everybody-
girly.
everybody was like, oh my God, it's a fluke. She went as a tourist. She met this American doctor. Now she's moving there and they're,
It's a fairy
married.
tale.
yeah.
For her. So
Well.
far.
So they lived together in Albuquerque in New Mexico. And at first, Girlie did not work. I don't know if it was like a visa thing. Like she didn't have the right to work yet for a while, which very well could be, or they just didn't need a second income. But Hasenkopf supported the couple through his business selling supplements.
Okay. Every doctor's dream.
Okay.
Something's off.
But before long,
Supplements off.
Right out of the gate, something's off.
what Girlie thought was a fairy tale marriage to a brilliant and successful American doctor took a turn for the worst.
Listen, no man is a fairy tale. Okay? It's just yes, all men, and no men.
And no thank you,
And
men.
no thank you to men.
In 1996, Hasenkopf okay. In 1996, Hasenkopf brought an infant boy home with him from a business trip.
Wait, what?
Excuse?
He brought a child home.
Are
an
they
infant.
brought or bought?
Brought.
Or both?
Brought.
Well,
Bruh with a R.
also
Brought-
yum, I want brats.
Brought home an infant boy from a business trip and told Girlie that this child was a Mexican orphan that the two were going to adopt.
Okay, so he
Oh.
stole a baby.
Well,
You're a mom now. Surprise.
so they had been trying to have children naturally, like she wanted kids, but they were trying naturally without success. And you know, they hadn't they hadn't discussed any other options. I
Right.
don't think they had discussed IVF. Well, it's early 90s. IVF wasn't very common. And also they...
Or just like adoption or like
hadn't
whatever other
discussed
testing.
adoption yet.
Yeah, they're all great options, but you gotta talk about them.
Right. So they hadn't even talked about this, and suddenly he just brought home this Mexican orphan.
This
There
is
you
sus. This is really fucking sus.
Yeah.
So Girlie was caught completely by surprise, as you would be if your husband just showed up with a rando kid. It would, of course, later turn out that this Mexican orphan was actually Hasenkopf's biological son with a woman that he had been having an affair with in Canada, but Girlie would not find this out for a couple years.
What the fuck?
I also don't know. I don't believe that there was definitely no charges of any kind of kidnapping of this child. So I feel like the mother maybe was like, you take him.
Right. Like actually did consent to transferring custody of this child to the father.
It's hard to know.
But he
with
also
this man.
misrepresented who this child
Well, right. He didn't
was.
even say this was his child.
Oh, he super lied to his wife about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Also, you can't trust anything this man says. So
Right.
it's possible he took him. It's also very possible that like the mother gave consent, but they like certainly didn't do any kind of proper like paperwork
and
to
legal
like bring
transfer.
this child from Canada to the US.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever. There aren't any
Concrete
proceedings
answers.
that
Got
come
it.
from this.
Okay.
So overnight, Girlie becomes a stay-at-home mom
My God.
to this random child.
Yikes. Overnight.
I realize that I'm a godparent, so this is a possibility, but I do have
You
nightmares
signed up
about
for
it.
that.
I know, I did, and I still have nightmares about it.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
would
know
crush
that I'll
it.
burden anyone with godparenthood.
We will self-appoint.
You got to pick somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? It's not a law.
Do you want your kids to end? I will take your kids.
Yeah.
Can you stop? Anyway.
It's
Jesus
not a
Christ.
law.
If you're not going to appoint someone, I will take your children
That's
so
what
they
I'm
don't
saying.
end up in the system.
We'll self-appoint.
It's not illegal. Godparenthood is not a legal application.
It can be.
It's not.
Okay. So anyway, she is now, her eyes have been opened, let's say, that
Mhm.
something's up with her husband. So she starts to ask questions, including about other aspects of Hasenkopf's life.
Schlemiel Schlemazel Hasenkopf Incorporated. I can't get it out of my head. And now all I want to do is watch
Gesundheit.
Laverne and Shirley. Okay, continue.
So over time, she'd become suspicious of his increasingly outlandish claims about his ability as a doctor, even though he is not working as a doctor. He is selling supplements.
He's working at one of those, GNC supplement stores at the mall.
But like not even, because it's like out of his garage. I'm
It's
pretty
like
sure.
at a state fair. He has a booth.
No, he's like a door-to-door supplement salesman.
You
Sounds
guys,
like it.
we will get to it.
No!
So when they had first met, again, he told her he was a surgeon, which is very hard to do remotely. And now he claimed to be a geneticist and to have, quote, discovered a cure for leukemia.
Wow. Hitting close to home here.
Big, if true.
Yeah. God.
Even more outrageously, he had also begun telling potential clients for his supplement business that he was 2,000 years old,
I
And-
believe him.
managed to preserve his youthful appearance with a serum he had created.
He himself is 2,000 years old.
Correct. And there are photos on the drive of
Him slipping and falling.
the youth potion from Death Becomes Her.
So he's a mummy. He's
Oh, okay. So
beyond
not
mummy.
his youth potion, but yes.
No,
okay.
I wish I had photos of his youth potion.
Oh.
Yeah. There are
Meryl.
photos of him on the
God.
drive, and it's like, dude, I guess if you're 2,000 years old, you look okay, but like otherwise,
His dimples are sweet.
No.
no.
You're not 2,000.
Amanda, Thank God
I
you
love
found
your
Bill
other-
because you have the worst taste in men.
Your other photos. From Death Becomes Her, I'm dying.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Girlie is like, all right, he's going
Something's
off the
off.
rails,
Yeah.
and he's definitely not a doctor, and he brought home this random kid, and like, I got to get out of this. So she finds a job as a bank teller and began contemplating leaving her husband.
Good girl.
Her suspicions were proven correct when she found out both about the real origin of their adopted child, and her husband had been using a fake name. And his name was not Diazin Hassenkoft. Why would that be the name you choose as your fake?
Brilliant. Because who would question that?
Right.
Right.
But his real name was Armand Chavez.
Yes. Okay.
And he was
Also
not...
sounds fake.
Yeah, it does. And it might be, honestly. If you kept peeling back the layers and found out that that was also fake, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
He was also not even remotely a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We
Not
are
even
more
a thoracic doctor.
than this man is a doctor.
Okay.
He had been
I'm a
expelled
doctor.
from medical school after it was discovered that he had never received an undergraduate degree and had used fake transcripts to apply.
Ooh.
So he just faked everything to get into medical school, and
Yeah.
then they found out and kicked him out.
Okay.
And
I
now
feel a grift coming on.
which is incredible for someone who later went on to cure leukemia.
I was like, wait, this is a joke, right?
Also, if you have 2,000 years, I feel like you could finish an undergraduate degree. But
Yeah, you had time.
yeah. So after this expulsion, he had continued living as a con artist, and his supplements business targeted cancer patients who were desperate for an alternative cure. And so he scammed them collectively out of $100,000 by selling what were actually just B6 vitamins.
This sounds like Denise Richards' husband with his like
Yes.
alternative healing, jacked up white boy
Vibration.
It's like
bullshit.
weird lamps.
Yeah.
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 It's-
Definitely.
It's fucking super like
Predatory.
predatory. That's the word I'm looking for. Of
Well, yeah,
vulnerable
these
people.
who are looking for any possible
Anything.
solution.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
mean,
so fucking sad.
we've lost a very close loved one to
Mhm.
leukemia.
Yes.
Like, of course, any solution that's offered to you, you're
Try
just
it all.
like, huh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you know that the alternative is certain death,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
I get, well, you do have to, this is why you can't jump at any possible
Well, no, but
solution,
that's why
people
it's so
are
fucked
desperate.
up. Yes,
Yeah,
people are
right.
desperate and vulnerable to
Right.
try anything.
Right.
And this fucker is so many people profit off of that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's so messed up.
So he'd also successfully scammed numerous people into receiving his anti-aging injections
Wait.
Okay.
because he's
Oh,
2,000
no.
years old for several $1,000s a pop.
It's
And
just
these-
silver. He's turning people purple.
It was probably just like saline or something.
Probably.
Like it was just, yeah, nothing.
Wow.
Okay, this is a long quote from, well, not that long. It's a quote from his neighbor, a man named Pedro Tirando Jr., and Pedro's father had become friends with Hassenkoft.
Spill the tea, Pedro. Spill it.
Pedro is like obviously too nice of a person because he's so gentle in what he says about him.
Spill it.
Quote, some of the things he was saying didn't quite add up.
Oh, you don't say.
Something about being able to change the structure of human beings to chemistry.
A chemistry occurs.
Somehow from carbon base to some other form. It was making him an amazing amount of money.
Good for him. Oh my God. I respect the hustle. But it might have been not real. I don't know.
Didn't quite add up.
It was making him an amazing amount of money.
I never questioned
Was
it.
an alchemist.
It is wild though, like how people can set up a grift that like is so compelling because of how much money they're making. Like it must be real,
Right.
If they're this rich, like I totally understand that that line of logic where it's like, well,
If he's making money.
yeah, it's something's working.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Until it all comes crumbling down.
Mhm.
Well, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy sort of
Totally.
situation.
Also, this man, if he didn't go like completely off the rails, he could have kept his
Making
grift
money.
going or
Yeah.
finding a new one over time. But he,
I mean, there are
Lost
plenty
his
of
damn
those
mind. He escalates.
people now who are still succeeding and still grifting thousands of dollars off of whoever.
Mhm.
Yeah, it works.
Okay, so Girlie learned all of this information about her husband's business from FBI agents who interviewed her as part of an investigation into Hassenkoft / Armand.
Oh, poor thing. Can you imagine?
Yeah, you're just
They
like,
show up at your doorstep and that's how you figure out that your husband is a fucking fraud.
Well, she was already
Suspicious.
planning her escape route.
Well, sure,
She got
but like
a job.
the
She
extent.
was storing money away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's fucking
she probably
traumatic.
didn't know how bad it really was.
How deep?
Yeah, she definitely was not implicated in any of his nonsense.
Fuck no.
So in January of 1999, after a domestic violence incident in which Hassenkoft threatened to kill her,
Fuck this fucker.
Girlie moved out of their shared home and into an apartment of her own. Soon thereafter, she also hired a lawyer and initiated divorce proceedings. So she is serious
for
about
you.
getting out.
Yep.
Good girly.
She also began taking karate lessons for self-defense.
Oh, that's sad.
God bless her.
Like, good for her, but that's sad.
Yeah.
That you need to do that is fucking tragic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're also assuming that she felt like she needed to do it, but like she probably felt like she needed to do it.
Well, she did it, so she must have felt like she needed to do it.
But it wasn't like a hobby thing.
Mhm.
No, it was not. It was a self-defense plan. It was trying to leave a domestic abuser / crazed con man.
That's sad.
So Girlie also confided in her coworkers at the bank about what was going on and told them that she was scared of her husband and that if anything were to happen to her, he would be the one to blame.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Those kinds of conversations leave me fucking chilled to my very core.
Premonitions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Ugh.
then on the morning of September 10th, 1999,
No.
Girlie didn't show up for work.
No.
Oh, girly.
Her coworkers reported her missing right away because they knew the situation, and they told police about the comments she had made. Diazin Hassenkoft, a.k.a. Armand Chavez, was immediately the prime suspect in the investigation, but he had conveniently left Albuquerque for Charleston, South Carolina that very same day.
Wow. What a coinky dink.
The safe haven of Charleston, South Carolina.
Also
There's no
beautiful.
extradition from Charleston to New
Pretty sure
Mexico.
South
So
Carolina is a kind of a severe place to flee federal charges, but who knows?
So inside Girlie's apartment, police noticed a strong smell of bleach.
Mhm.
And they quickly found a large amount of blood evidence, I'm assuming using luminol.
Yeah, tell me you're not a doctor without telling me you're not a doctor.
Tell
Bleach
me-
will take care of this.
Tell me you haven't seen a single episode of Forensic Files.
Seriously, fuck this
Sir.
guy.
So in addition to Hassenkoft / Chavez himself, investigators also began looking into his new girlfriend, a 48-year-old fashion designer, which I think is a generous term for her.
Aren't we all fashion designers on some level?
Named Linda Henning. And it would later be revealed that Henning was just one of 3 women that Hassenkoft was supposedly engaged to at
Oh
the
my
time.
God, I hate this.
All while he was
God.
still technically married to Girlie.
Good
And
Lord.
living with.
Well, they had been living apart for a few months, but he had this other woman. He had a ton of women everywhere. He was lying to everybody.
The disdain I have for assholes with multiple spouses while I haven't even gotten my first wedding yet is so deep.
Like, who do you think you are, Hassenkaft?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stop hoarding all the
yourself.
weddings.
So Henning had met Hassenkaft that summer, not at an aquarium, but rather at a meeting for UFO believers.
I mean, okay, fine by me.
That is a meet cute if I've ever heard
Yeah,
of one.
I'd watch that movie.
Maybe at that McDonald's in Santa Fe.
You never know.
So when police interviewed her, she told them that she had no knowledge of Girlie's disappearance or of any animosity between Girlie and Hassenkaft, who she believed to be an accomplished doctor. So he was also using the doctor thing with with Linda, and I think the same alias name. But when police searched Linda's home, they found a ninja sword. I told you it was Mad Libs.
This is
This
absurd.
is Mad Libs, yeah.
Yeah. They found a ninja sword, which was later shown to have been purchased on the very same morning of Girlie's disappearance.
Oh, how odd.
By what's his name or by
Linda.
Oh.
Then, a few days after she went missing, a pair of pink and orange shorts, a green and white blouse, and green underwear belonging to Girlie were found near a highway in Belen, New Mexico. Her purse was also later discovered nearby. We don't have a body yet, though.
Okay.
The clothes were spattered with blood and had been wrapped in a blood-stained tarp and sealed with duct tape. So, like,
Oof.
they don't have a body, but she is confirmed
Yeah.
dead and of foul play.
Right.
Did the tarp and the body or the tarp and the clothes look like there had been a body in it? Or
I don't know. I don't think so. It sounds like the clothes were dumped in a tarp and then wrapped up and sealed with duct tape.
Okay.
But there was another big break in this bizarre case because the duct tape had one strand of hair attached to it.
Ooh,
Fucking
okay.
watch one episode of Forensic Files.
Yeah.
God
ya-
damn it.
You idiot.
Idiot.
Analysis would later confirm that the hair belonged to Linda Henning, as did some of the blood found in Girlie's apartment.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So Henning and Hassenkaft were both arrested and charged with Girlie's murder. Henning would state to an investigative grand jury that she had never met Girlie, but police collected evidence that she had frequented the bank branch where Girlie worked and that Girlie had been her teller on multiple occasions.
Okay.
And they probably think that that was Linda scoping out Girlie,
Doing recon.
doing recon, either just because she knew that this was like her boyfriend's wife or planning this murder. I don't know. Or
Ugh,
both.
God.
So in order to, so because of that, in addition to murder, Henning was also charged with perjury for lying to the grand jury about having never met Girlie.
Right. Caught.
Yeah.
Caught in that one.
It's a bank.
Yeah.
You're gonna be on video.
Right.
In order to avoid the death penalty, Hassenkaft pleaded guilty to Girlie's murder and was sentenced to life in prison plus 61 years. So he's never getting out. I'm actually shocked that he pled guilty. Because usually, like, con men are like, represent
narcissists,
themselves.
don't even let themselves get backed in a corner. They just fucking die with their lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually surprising, but here we
So-
are.
At the time of his guilty plea, he still made this very disturbing statement. He stated, quote, "Society views murder as the most heinous crime known to mankind. Like when you decide you're going to commit murder, you decide you're going to trade your life for theirs. I did that. She knew she was going to be hunted like the dog she was.
No, he fucking did not.
And yes, ran like a scared rabbit in an open field she knew."
Ew.
And that, my friends, is domestic violence.
That is so fucking gross.
Oh my God.
She knew she was going to be hunted like the dog she was. Ew, she's fucking prey.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
When he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did all of this. She is guiltless.
Yeah. You could have just not done it.
You could have just not been a con man, not stolen money from cancer patients with fake bullshit pills and fake lies about being a fake doctor and bringing home a fake orphan that's actually your love child.
Dude.
And having a million fucking girlfriends everywhere. Like, you did this.
He made this statement in the court.
Yeah.
Like at his sentencing or some shit.
I'm
when he got a
surprised they
chance
let
to
him get
speak.
it out.
Well, it's a lot of times at sentencing, they get an opportunity to address the court, even if they never took the stand.
I know, but I just feel like I'm surprised the judge let him.
Yeah, I'm not
say
fucking
this.
cool with it. It's messed up.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, God. Poor girlie.
Yeah. She's just completely innocent in all of this. So Linda Henning's trial began in September 2002, more than 3 years after Girlie Chew's disappearance. She also faced the death penalty if convicted and was the first woman in New Mexico history to face capital punishment. So I think that's why he pled guilty, was to avoid the death penalty.
Yeah. Well, and fuck Linda. Like, listen.
Yeah, fuck
y'all,
this bitch.
if your man is trying to get you on board with shit like this, we've said it before, we'll say it a million times, we said it today. No man is worth it. Literally never. Literally never.
No. So her defense claimed that Hassenkoft had masterminded the murder plan and coerced her into doing his bidding. This narrative was supported by several of Linda's friends who testified that they believed she had been brainwashed and possibly even drugged by whatever the fuck his name is.
I mean, maybe.
She was definitely... I don't know if she had been brainwashed. Her brain was wishy-washy.
Right. She was
There
coerced,
some sort of
but
manipulation.
yeah,
She had lots
resistant-
of beliefs, but she
Right.
also had agency in attaining
Exactly.
those beliefs, and we will
Yes.
get to it.
Oh, yeah, I'm resistant to dismiss her role in this as
He
100% manipulation at his hand.
He didn't have any coercive control over her. She lived on her own. She had her own job. You know,
Yeah, no coercive control outside of just
outside of just
telling
romantic,
her,
whatever.
telling
know.
her his plans and her getting on board.
Just
with it.
because you want to please someone that you're romantically interested in doesn't mean you were coerced.
No dick is worth it.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
can't assign weight to her decisions, no matter what category they fall into. You know,
Yeah, I just
we
hate
we
her.
will get to she.
people have their own fucking logics.
Yes,
Whether or not they make sense to us.
Mm-hmm.
and they will not, because we're about to get to it right now. So her friends claim to have noticed a drastic change in her personality and beliefs almost immediately after she met Hassenkoft. And again, they met at the UFO Believers meeting.
Yes. How could we forget?
Yeah.
The meet cute.
And yes, of course. So her friends described how she had started believing in outlandish conspiracy theories, including one that involved alien reptilian creatures who secretly controlled the U.S. government.
QAnon, honey.
I was gonna say she's getting sucked into some Q shit.
What
It's
year is this?
1999.
Yeah, but
Oh no, it's 2002.
Well, that was her trial.
Oh.
But those conspiracy theories adjacent to QAnon have been around for a long
Right.
time.
She
Well-
was an influencer.
Yeah,
I'll
yes,
just give
yes.
a little bit of an insight to the next spooky little bitch, which was about lizard people and QAnon and things like that. So from the person I spoke with, his name is Tony Russo. He just
God,
published
do they
a book.
believe?
No, he doesn't. This was about a person who was basically the impetus of QAnon sort of popularity. But anyway, the lizard people,
Mhm.
Isn't that like a
ideology.
super anti-Semitic fucking...
All of them.
Yeah.
At the heart
No.
of any conspiracy theory, almost, is anti-Semitism.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, it's anti a lot, but his explanation of the lizard people thing is like evangelicals talking about like kind of trying to justify how evolution works. Like, we know dinosaurs exist. We pretty much know aliens exist. Like, how can you explain that if the world
there's like
started
God who
at
created
this,
Adam and Eve,
if there's no
whatever.
such thing as evolution,
Mhm.
then dinosaurs, aliens, all that are different types of demons. So basically that just sort of like snowballs into lizard people are basically a result of like demons.
All right.
It's
Well-
a heaven hell dichotomy sort of situation. It's very biblical. It's very like Orthodox Christian in its roots. So
Mhm.
it's nothing new.
Well, she takes it. She's a little more sci-fi.
What just happened?
My
Did you fall?
microphone!
Okay.
My whole microphone
Oh
arm
my
just fell.
I thought a lizard got you.
It was the lizard people.
You've evoked them. I was following along in the notes and I didn't see you and I thought you just fell out of your chair.
I always randomly scream and get attacked
This is true.
for something in
You
every
know I get
episode.
attacked.
You know I get attacked.
I do though.
Oh.
But also, like, a little bit more about the lizard people. You know how we were talking about it?
But
in-
you're
in
fine.
the-
So back to the lizard people.
In the witchcraft episode, the witches, we were talking about like how a lot, like throughout history, Jewish people were accused of like eating children.
Yeah, the blood libel
Mm-hmm.
fake
The
bullshit.
Jews, the witches, the blah blah blah, like this lizard people thing as demons actually has roots like dating way the fuck far back. So
Right.
as stupid as we think is the theory of like lizard people controlling the government, it's actually not a new theory at all.
Definitely not new. No.
It's so fucking mind-blowingly stupid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we're gonna dive a little more into it with Linda specifically, because I'm sure there are offshoots.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are.
So, a former boyfriend of hers, who she had remained close with, a man named Zachary, had become so concerned that he had even hired a private investigator to look into Hassenkoft and had confronted Linda with evidence of his like many fraud schemes,
Mhm.
which like is a lot of legwork
Yeah.
for an ex to do.
Yeah.
Henning then became extremely upset, and according to this man, Zachary, she doubled down on defending Hassenkoft. And she went on to write Zachary a letter that read in part, quote, "This is a spiritual war as well as a physical one.
Oh, here we
The
go.
humans stored in cryostasis will have their souls, life essence, extracted and dissipated." So it's kind of like a matrixy thing, kind of.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm following.
The
I'm
get
all
it.
in.
Lucy's vibing.
I totally get it.
The reptilians are led by a queen back on the moon base.
Yep.
Sure, this tracks. Yep. Okay.
I know this sounds like sci-fi, but I was told the sci-fi stuff was created so in case this story ever gets out, no one will
Would
believe it.
Mhm. Fake news.
Has nothing to do with like fictional authorship or anything like that.
So this confrontation between Linda and her concerned ex and this letter happened just 1 month before Girlie's disappearance. So like Linda is off the rails.
Yep. And people know it.
Yeah. So look. Did she? I mean, she had agency. She also was like clearly mentally vulnerable.
Listen,
but
she
like,
was a mess.
She was a mess.
She was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
But she also helped commit murder.
Yeah.
Brutal, fucking Myrtle.
Yes.
Myrtle.
I'm not going to say anything about the Myrtle aspect.
Yeah.
Because clearly that's a choice.
Mhm.
If you really want to believe that there are reptile people and like all that batshit stuff, like whatever.
Space Needle is not real.
Humans believe with full faith all sorts of crazy zany bullshit.
Mhm.
That's true,
Like,
but
that
then they
will-
don't
that
go
will
on
really
to kill
not
people.
be
Yeah,
a
you don't go out
departure.
murdering over it.
The
Yeah.
problem is the murder.
The murder.
part.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you
Mhm.
believe in the lizards all you want.
You gotta
Who
stop
cares?
before the murder. It's
Right.
gone too far
Yeah.
already.
Yep.
So Henning's attorneys also called Hassenkoff to testify in her defense. And on the stand, he claimed that he had masterminded the murder of his wife and that Linda had been completely innocent. But
Mhm.
he told the jury that a man named Bill Miller was actually Girlie's killer. Miller
Miller the killer.
was a member of a local militia, and Hassenkoff said that he had struck a deal with him because he wanted Girlie dead. So he had like hired this Miller guy as an assassin. What am I trying to say?
A hash-ashin.
A
Yeah, like a
hitman.
hitman. Yeah.
And Miller told Hassenkoff that he wanted the practice of killing for when he would have to fight and kill the aliens that were controlling the government.
Oh,
Why
got it.
does everyone
Then he
believe
tried to
this?
kidnap the Michigan governor,
Yeah.
and it just went nuts.
I can take out your wife on my way to the Capitol.
Mhm.
It'll be good target practice.
I got this.
But can I
While
get a ride?
kill the
though,
lizard
too?
people that
Can
are
I
in
get a
the
ride?
basement of the pizza parlor.
Right.
Yeah.
Touching
With Hillary
children.
Clinton's emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Got it.
communicate via Hunter Biden's laptop
Yup. Listen, it all
to and
tracks.
from Benghazi.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no. This is just word salad, and
Yeah.
there's someone out there who's
I'm
like,
cute.
yup.
Who's like
Hit the
yes,
nail on the
X,
head.
the red string.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all coming
Yes.
together now.
Yes.
So finally.
Yeah. Why do you think they've been silencing Tucker Carlson?
Oh, yeah. This is it.
Quick, inject
The shepherd who
silver.
will, the shepherd who will lead us all to truth, Tucker Carlson.
I don't know. I'm going to trust the man who's been around the block for 2,000 years and has seen some shit.
That's true. He has a lot of life experience.
Okay. So Miller was
Lives experience, even.
Miller was eventually also charged, but in the case, but only with 5 counts of tampering with evidence because they didn't find any connection that he like actually physically followed up on any of this, and they think Hassenkoff was just trying to like protect his girlfriend Linda.
Mm.
So
Wait, you mean some of this was bullshit?
Wait.
What?
he wasn't. He dared lie to a jury
How
of
could
his
he?
peers,
Oh, my God.
Reptile
of his
peers.
much younger peers.
Good Lord.
So Hassenkoff also discussed the blood evidence found in Girlie's apartment, which contained Girlie's blood and Linda's blood. And he claimed that he had planted Linda's blood to throw
how
off
convenient.
investigators,
Red
and
herring.
that Linda had never been there. It's like,
Got
why
it.
would you plant her blood then? It's stupid. It was a stupid lie. He also stated in his testimony that he was a, quote, reptilian shapeshifter
Oh.
and, quote, capable of being in several places at once.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
So that would explain why I think he was seen somewhere else when they think the murder was taking place, so then they knew it was Linda.
Oh. Yep. But
He was like, no, I can be in 2 places at once. So it
It's
was
me. Trust me. It's me.
Trust me.
Trust me. It's me.
Also, if he's a reptile person,
Right.
isn't
Why would we
he
trust
the
him?
enemy?
Yeah. It's not adding up, people.
I don't know.
You know, it is a lot more complicated than that, and I don't mean to keep plugging the spooky little bitch for this month, but we do talk a lot about reptile people.
Okay, right.
It's more of an astral identity situation.
Okay.
Oh my
Cool.
Lord.
Cool. So on October 25th, 2002, Linda Henning was found guilty of first-degree murder, kidnapping, conspiracy to kidnap, tampering with evidence, and 4 counts of perjury. The perjury stuff would eventually be overturned. I don't know why, probably some technicality. The judge in the case, W. John Brennan, told Henning that he would go easier on her in sentencing if she would agree to reveal the location of Girlie's body, but she insisted that she could not because she had not been the one to kill her. Bitch.
You did, though.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely know where she's at.
So
Oh, no, you did.
Henning's sentencing was held in April of 2003, and leading up to this date, the prosecutor in the case wrote in a report that Henning had, quote, made statements that she had actually consumed the flesh of Girlie Chew.
Oh, no.
And that as a consequence, her remains and the body would never be recovered by authorities. Now,
No,
this is probably bullshit too, because you can't eat the entire body.
no, you cannot.
She might have eaten some, though.
She might have eaten some, or it's just another fucking lie. I actually think it's just another lie, although
I
she was
really
that
hope you're
shit.
right.
It's fucking lie. You might have eaten a little bit of her, but you're not going to eat her bones and her organs and her
Yeah.
brains and all that
That's
shit.
not a reason why the remains would never be recovered.
Oh, my God.
I think it's bullshit. I'm choosing to believe it's bullshit.
There are way more ways to completely get rid of a body than just eat it.
When asked why
Ugh.
he had not brought these statements up previously, he responded, quote, "We took the position that we would attempt to keep the trial as simple as possible and would avoid as much sensationalism as possible. It really didn't go to the actual murder itself."
Good luck with that.
The guy was like, look, like there was already a lot. There was reptiles and moon bases. Like, we're not going to bring up cannibalism. Let's just focus.
That's
kind of fair, though.
Fair.
That's kind of fair. I actually respect this choice.
Just fucking, rein it in, Linda.
That's where we're drawing a line.
So despite the numerous charges against her, Linda Henning was not given a death sentence, probably just because she's a woman, and was instead sentenced to 73 years in prison. Both Henning and Hassenkopf are still serving their sentences, but Hassenkopf was back in the news in 2020 because that year just had to have more bullshit.
The hits keep on coming.
When he made an attempt to have a judge vacate his sentence, submitting a 400-plus page document. Oh, to get my hands on that document.
For a bit of light reading.
That claimed his sentence was illegal, that he'd been denied due process, blah, 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 blah. He also claimed that the prosecutor in the case had colluded with police to hide evidence that would have exonerated him. No, it's bullshit. This phase of the case is still ongoing, and most recently, his current lawyer asked for a 6-month extension from the judge to collect evidence and stated, "I don't want to give too many details, but this case involves global connections."
Whoa.
Fucking
All right.
Better call
that,
Saul.
reptile people.
Pull the onion layers back.
Yeah, but all joking aside, this poor woman lost her life for no fucking reason because of this crazy man's delusions and Linda's crazy delusions, and her body has still never been found.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I told you, it's a wild case. It's absolutely bonkers. It is like Mad Libs.
It is like a
I
word
just
salad.
kept
really is.
reading,
It's a word
and then when I
salad.
got to the UFO meeting, I was like,
Okay.
and we haven't even
Face
gotten to the
Paul.
reptiles.
Right. And another thing.
And then there's the reptile people.
Honestly, like, if I hadn't been to your home, I would assume that you had so many walls of red string for, like, all the cases that you cover. I don't know how you fucking do it. I really don't know how you fucking do it.
You're an insane person. You're
Yes.
a reptile person.
It's my favorite thing about you is just your absolute insanity.
Insanity.
Yeah, it's a crazy case. So there you go, New Mexico. It
Wow.
happened in New Mexico. That's
The
the only
Sunshine
connection.
State.
And there we go, New Mexico.
Wow.
They do have reptiles and
A lot of them.
people.
And my notes are like, they have a musical highway and a big pistachio.
Yeah, if
But
somebody
do
was,
they have Armand? Yes.
this would be a very niche bingo card of an episode.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
this
want
is
someone
the
to do like a full investigative, well, not necessarily investigative because this case is already closed, but like a full details, multi-episode.
Multi-part. I know. This
part about
absolutely,
this.
And other podcasts have covered it. I know that like Last Podcast on the Left has covered it. I haven't listened to their episodes yet, but I think that was a multi-parter.
I want like a true crime bullshit season
Yeah.
dedicated to this nonsense.
I want
Absolutely.
a tapestry of
Yes.
freaky fucking theories about this specific case.
I
to
wanna know
hang in
about
my home.
All his other fiancés.
Yes.
And that bitch in Canada.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And what happened to this child?
Yeah. There are a lot of loose ends that are not tied up here.
Oh yeah, there's a child involved. I forgot. It was just like mentioned in passing.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I don't know.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm wondering, like, is the mother in Canada even fucking alive? Like,
Great question. I don't know.
Maybe
in my-
they went off the fucking grid because this guy was so fucking bonkers.
honestly, I feel like the most likely scenario is that he manipulated another vulnerable female and took their child. And, like, I doubt she had much say in a lot of
I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know the answer. Maybe somebody out there does. Maybe one of the like more in-depth, format shows.
I need the
some of these
podcast.
answers, but
I'm not
going
going to read all this. I need the
put
podcast.
it into my ear holes.
I am going to call Keith
Drop
Morrison.
or feed it to me like a baby duck.
We need a Dateline special.
Like an old goose.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
not the keys.
So that's my case.
Wow. All right.
Nice fucking word.
Well, thank you for that, Mad Lib. Okay. I'm not even going to ask if you're ready for my case because, spoiler alert,
The
you're not.
answer is no.
You're deaf
Fan
not.
pick cases are always the darkest.
They really are.
What's wrong with you people?
Well, Annie/Ani included a little note, which I will preface by saying that this case is not specific to a daycare incident, but is a CPS situation. So she wrote, quote, "This case has become a motivator for me. I spent 2 years teaching in New Mexico. The last 2 months I was teaching at a preschool in Portales, New Mexico, which is not, in parentheses, the preschool that left 2 children in a hot car, but clearly this is a widespread issue.
Oh my God.
The preschool I worked for was spanking children, which should have been it for me, but I stayed another month and recorded evidence of teachers and the preschool owner abusing children, which, like, I respect
think
that.
that's the
Like,
right
gather
call.
evidence. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're staying to gather and
Right.
use evidence, that's
To
different
shut that
than
shit down.
Staying.
2 other teachers and I resigned when we witnessed the child of another teacher was punched in the face by a separate teacher as punishment.
Jesus.
I spent 3 months contacting media outlets, CPS, CYFD, which we'll get to, and any other group I could find. If by some miracle someone answered at CPS or CYFD, the case was taken seriously until I mentioned that it occurred at a preschool, and then I would be quickly told that someone would send me a letter within 6 weeks, which I never got.
What the hell?
And there's a lot in here about CYFD and the system. This case is fucking tragic. She continues to say, unfortunately, because of the high poverty rate in New Mexico, little attention is given to preschools, daycares, etc. Most available resources have to be diverted elsewhere. I have not returned to teaching, and I don't think I could. The nightmares I get and the guilt I feel for not being able to help children put in these daycares will never go away. And one last thing, I want to beg any parent that has a child, and you say in daycare, but like really anywhere, any parent with a child, to be aware of a few things. 1, you can and should drop by unexpectedly at daycare. Always check that your child's daycare is following teacher to student ratios strictly, which is, I mean, obviously so under-resourced. This is becoming a growing issue.
Yeah, don't just believe what they tell you.
And always ask to see proof of certification.
From all teachers.
Yep, from all teachers. So, yeah, these are just These questions will weed out a possibly dangerous environment, and all of this information should be very easy to obtain. So that's what Annie wanted to just give a little insight on why they connect with this case. And it's
right. I guess I'll allow a super dark case since you have a super dark backstory to go with it.
It's a fucking really sad case. And I rarely do this, but I just want to give a big, huge trigger warning because we are going to be discussing sexual abuse and death of a child. And it's really fucking horrific. So,
oh God, I'm so sorry. Before you get into it, I just want to thank Annie again for trying to do what they could to protect those kids. And, you know, you something might have come of it that you're not aware of. You might have contributed to a broader investigation. You don't know. Like, just have hope that your efforts
made an impact
in the end, or will eventually.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Victoria Martens was only 10 years old when she was found dead in an apartment in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Her remains were discovered by police who had responded to a call that neighbors made regarding a domestic dispute in the apartment. So it's like loud fighting, neighbors call the police.
Yeah.
Victoria was living with her mother, Michelle, and she also had a half-brother who lived part-time with his father, so he was not home on the night of her death, thank God. And he was 2 years younger than her, so he was 8 at the time. Victoria's parents were not together, and her father's name is not public. He's not involved in this case whatsoever. So this is the only time you're going to hear about her dad and her brother.
He definitely was not home.
Nope.
Not involved.
And the brother, her half-brother, was with him. I think they lived in like another state even.
Okay.
Michelle was working at a local deli to support her children. She did not have a criminal history in New Mexico, and by most accounts was a hardworking and loving parent. She was actively dating men who she'd connect with online, and in 2016, she actually made a call to Children, Youth, and Families Department in New Mexico. So this is like this is the CYFD. It's like their local CPS. To report that her boyfriend at the time, David Hernandez, had tried to kiss 10-year-old Victoria. Michelle broke off the relationship, and it's unclear how much she knew about David's history, but he had a criminal record for sexual abuse of minors, including several of his own family.
Oh, God.
Well, it's good that she
believed
her daughter, broke it off with him.
I mean, she may have even seen it happen. Yeah. He was not a registered sex offender, however, because the charges had been dropped after his arrest, so they never went to court.
Shit. So it's not like she could have like looked
him up.
His status. He wasn't he wasn't registered.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The report was received by CYFD, who advised her to also file a report with the local police, who in turn did not investigate because they said they couldn't take action, quote, over an attempted kiss.
Fuck those cops. Fuck them.
Oh, there's more. And he'd already been kicked out of the apartment and sent on his merry way. There would be 4 more calls to CYFD in the coming months, though the details of those calls are unclear, and there isn't a solid report because the calls were never investigated by the department or the police.
My God,
Enter
if
Michelle's
an attempt on a child, like sexually. God.
By someone with a history of it.
Well, and that's like, this isn't even the guy. That's like a big problem in the end. That's just
my God.
part of
that's
the history.
That's almost the bigger issue, too. It's like if there's a pattern.
Well, and it escalates real fast. So enter Michelle's new boyfriend, 31-year-old Fabian Gonzalez, who she started dating in July of 2016. So closely after she and the other guy broke up. Fabian was actively using methamphetamines and had a criminal record in the state of New Mexico, which included assault of a previous girlfriend and a felony child abuse charge. It appears that several charges happened in the same time frame, and Fabian took a plea deal that allowed his release and 2 years of supervised probation, so no prison time.
Meth probably violates your probation, but go off, Fabian.
Yeah, right. During their relationship, Fabian would use the apartment during the day. I mean, his probation may have ended by the time their relationship started. I'm not sure. Yeah. This is just part of his criminal history. But during their relationship, Fabian would use the apartment during the day when he could be alone there to use drugs. So like when the kids were at school and when Michelle was at work. And he would also invite friends over to use. Among those invited to the apartment was Fabian's cousin, 31-year-old Jessica Kelly. Jessica had been in prison until August of 2016, one of several stints on drug-related convictions, as well as a conspiracy to commit rape conviction. While hanging out... Yeah. Not a great crowd.
No.
While hanging out in Michelle's apartment, Fabian invited her to move in with them for $50 a month in rent, which Michelle had not agreed to and was not there when he offered that to Jessica.
This is very cheap rent.
Also, they've been dating for a month.
Yeah, exactly. So on August 23rd, 2016, it was Victoria's 10th birthday. That day, she spoke on the phone with her grandparents, John and Pat Martens. She discussed her day at school and how her classmates had brought in treats to celebrate her birthday. Oh. It was early the morning after that police responded to the domestic disturbance call at the apartment and found Victoria dead.
God.
Michelle, Fabian, and Jessica were in the apartment when police arrived, and Victoria was in the apartment. We'll get to this part. Michelle had a bleeding wound on her face between her eyes, and when police demanded that the adults exit the apartment, they did, but Jessica refused and instead slammed and locked the door and jumped off the balcony out the back. She survived this fall with nothing more than a fractured ankle. I think it was like a third-story apartment. Like, it's not going to kill you. It's just stupid.
So the mom was in the apartment. The
yes.
police come. They get her out.
And Fabian.
out. And Michelle is bleeding like she's been attacked.
Yes. She has a big gash between her eyes. And then
her
Jessica slams the door. Her
Yeah.
daughter is in another room. We'll get to it. Yeah. So she jumps. She survives. They apprehend her. And now all three adults are in police custody, and the apartment is, empty of suspects at this point. So this is when they search the apartment. Mm-hmm. And what they found was fucking horrific. This is some of the most awful shit I have ever fucking read. So I'm just going to try to get through these details quickly and efficiently, the best I can. Mm-hmm. So
blanket trigger warning.
Yeah, big time.
God.
So they found Victoria in the bathroom because there was smoke coming from the cracks of the closed bathroom door. In the bathroom, Victoria was in the empty tub, partially wrapped in a blanket, dismembered and set on fire. At the police station, Michelle, Fabian, and Jessica were being questioned. Michelle claimed that Victoria had been injected with methamphetamine to subdue her so that Fabian and Jessica could sexually assault her.
Fucking Jessica as well. I mean, Fabian and Jessica both, but Jessica, this is a fucking pattern for her as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can we just back up? Jessica is
Fabian's cousin.
And she has a past history of drug stuff and conspiracy to commit rape.
Mm-hmm.
And Fabian is
Michelle's boyfriend.
Jesus Christ.
So Michelle claimed that she watched while Jessica and Fabian raped, strangled, stabbed, and dismembered Victoria. She also claimed that she had previously sought out men on the internet to come to her home and have sex with Victoria so she could watch. So essentially
the mom
trafficking.
Said
yes.
That?
Yes.
Okay, well, fuck everything I said at the top. Fuck
we'll get to it.
Okay.
This case is so much, there's so much fucking failure of the system in this case that it will have you completely screaming.
Okay.
In another room, being interrogated, Fabian denied harming Victoria throughout 9 hours of interrogation, and Jessica refused to speak with investigators at all without the presence of an attorney. The story Michelle provided appeared to match the scene, and Michelle, Fabian, and Jessica were indicted on September 8th, 2016 for intentional abuse of a child, aggravated criminal sexual penetration, murder, and tampering with evidence. The three suspects were tried separately, with Michelle's trial first, supposed to start in July of 2018. But before the trial, newly elected District Attorney Raul Torres announced that Michelle had accepted a plea bargain to one count of child abuse resulting in death. He said that many details of this case were, quote, simply not true, and that there was even a fourth suspect in this murder being actively sought out. Okay. So ends that appeared to be tied up started to unravel as more forensic and autopsy evidence became available in the years following this crime that would indicate Michelle and Fabian were not even present in the apartment at the time of Victoria's murder.
Jeez.
So here's the timeline presented by Torres after almost 2 years of collecting and analyzing DNA evidence, reviewing cell phone records, collecting eyewitness testimony, reviewing and having like second, third, fourth opinions on autopsy results. Like so much was fucking botched.
Yeah.
That it basically all had to be re-examined from fucking scratch. So
Jeez.
This is like the timeline on the day of Victoria's birthday. So August 23rd, 4:25 p.m., Victoria Martens gets off the bus and goes home. Michelle and Fabian are not present at this time.
She just turned 10. She gets
10.
off the bus. She's going home.
Single
Normal.
working mom.
Yeah.
Kids are 10 and 8. Brother's not there. She's going to go home, hang out, probably watch cartoons. Like that's, whatever. In the 90s, we would have done the same shit.
Yeah.
5:07 p.m., Michelle and Fabian return to the apartment. 6:05 p.m., Victoria, the child, goes to the gas station with Fabian. 6:15 to 6:20, Victoria and Fabian return to the apartment. 6:30 p.m., Michelle and Fabian leave and go to Paradise Hills. This is like a neighboring town. 7:02 p.m., Michelle and Fabian return to the apartment. 7:05 p.m., Victoria is seen alive by neighbors. 7:06 p.m., Michelle and Fabian leave again. This is seen by witnesses. 7:38 p.m., Michelle and Fabian are near Rio Bravo Boulevard and Coors Boulevard. Again, it's corroborated that they're there.
Okay.
7:59 p.m., Michelle and Fabian are seen near 5 Points and Bridge Boulevard. 8:47 p.m., Michelle and Fabian arrive back at the apartment. 8:48 p.m., eyewitnesses say Victoria's body is seen being carried outside the apartment.
Carried outside, but then brought back inside?
Correct.
Okay.
And the forensic evidence indicates that Victoria's time of death is between like 7:30 and 8 p.m. when, like in that general time frame, when Michelle and Fabian are not even home.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty easy to ascertain given this timeline, but like...
So as it stands now, it's likely Michelle falsely confessed to Victoria's murder, and DNA actually implicates this fourth unnamed and so far unknown suspect as the perpetrator. So here's what we do know based on new evidence or like actual processing of the evidence.
So why did they think that it wasn't just Jessica?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
I'm going to go over all of that right now.
Okay.
So Victoria's cause of death was manual strangulation. Victoria's autopsy did not show any presence of methamphetamine, contrary to Michelle's original story.
Okay.
A low level of ethanol was discovered, but this was later attributed to the body's process of, like, natural process of decay, which can result in the presence of ethanol. It's not enough. It wasn't enough.
She
for
wasn't
her to
injected
have been, like,
with anything.
Correct. Or like fed it. Yeah, no. While it was initially believed that Victoria had been sexually assaulted on that night, further review and re-examination indicated she was likely not sexually assaulted during the timeline in question. But she did have an STI indicating previous sexual abuse.
Okay.
Which could have been as a result of either this Fabian guy or the fucking previous boyfriend.
Or David or somebody else.
We don't know.
Okay.
In reviewing communications between Michelle and CYFD, the like Child Protective Services basically, it appears Michelle did report a sexual assault that was committed against Victoria that occurred about a month before Victoria's murder. DA Torres stated, quote, she took immediate steps to identify and notify the relevant law enforcement officials, and as far as we know, severed contact with that person. So that's likely in relation to this David guy.
Right.
But the report was not properly investigated. Michelle also claimed in her confession that she had trafficked her for sex via online dating sites, but there was no evidence to support this. And as we know, even if you delete things from the web, there's always a trail.
Yeah, and it's not like Michelle is like a cyber hacker who could like, you know.
She has a lot of issues. She is a methamphetamine user. She is
with terrible taste
in men. She's keeping very dangerous company. But she's also vulnerable, and that was very fucking clear when she was apprehended.
And she's probably not out there trying to, like, stymie the investigation.
No.
Like, some sort of, like, techie.
No,
I mean,
overt way.
there are parents and other guardians who do traffic their
yes,
children
of
online.
Course.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There is nothing to indicate that that is the case here, and we're going to get to what went down. So Fabian Gonzalez's DNA was also not found on Victoria's body, but DNA from the unnamed fourth suspect was present. So DA Torres, with the support of psychological analysts, believes Michelle's confession was coerced by police who fed her information while she was in a state of shock and on drugs that she simply nodded or agreed with by saying, mm-hmm.
Okay.
They haven't, like, I
Okay.
didn't see a direct transcript or, like, the tapes of this confession, but it's like a fucking making a murderer situation.
Yeah, if somebody is high or in shock or both,
And their child was they just found the remains of their child
and they're bleeding from the face,
No.
and then all they're doing is saying mm-hmm
So
or
the
responding
it was the
positively.
police
That's very
being like,
different than
yes.
this is what happened.
Yeah.
First, they, like, it's not like she's telling
Her
a
confession
tale.
is like, oh, were you trafficking your child by meeting these guys online?
Yeah.
And she's like, like,
Yeah.
this was not a fucking real confession.
No.
Okay.
It was not.
All
A
right.
2017 investigation by the Civilian Police Oversight Agency did find that a police spokesperson representing this case lied to reporters about their response or lack thereof to a CYFD report or referral regarding Victoria. A sergeant with the department also confirmed that the department had received calls about Victoria from CYFD and did not investigate, and officers had lied to the press previously about interviewing Michelle and Victoria.
It's
So,
also
like,
pretty
of course they're-
unlikely that a parent who is trafficking their child is
It's
going
gonna fucking
to
call CPS
gonna-
over and over
Right?
again.
Right.
And if the police are now like, oh shit, we have a dead kid and 4 calls to CYFD that were referred to us that we never fucking investigated,
Yeah.
you don't think they're gonna try to put this all on
Yeah.
these fucking definitely not, angelic people. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that there's no wrongdoing here. There's a lot of failures in every fucking aspect. There's
Right.
also responsibility on Michelle.
But it's
I'm
very
not
easy
absolving
to
her.
shift.
But she is such a fucking easy target here. They're
Yeah.
feeding her this shit, and she is just going with it. They
Yeah,
never even
that's
conducted
sad.
an interview with Michelle and Victoria. They never even made a fucking phone call, the police. Not a one time.
Mm-hmm.
So the proposed
sad.
consequence for the main spokesperson, the cop who was the police spokesperson who knowingly gave false information to the police, was a 2-week suspension, of which he served 1 day paid.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So one paid day
cool,
off.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was paid.
But, for optics, he was also removed from the position of being a police spokesperson.
Oh, for
For that,
optics.
for that case.
Got
So,
it. Cool.
with
Got
all
it.
of this new information, that's why Michelle agreed to take the plea bargain. Because now she's also been in custody, so she's probably got a clearer mind. She's, been in jail. She's not fucking doing meth every day. And all of this shit is being re-examined. And the DA is like, none of this is making sense when you actually look at the legitimate fucking physical evidence. What the fuck is going on? And all of this eyewitness testimony, this is not right. So I want to give big props to DA Torres for actually doing his fucking job.
Actually investigating and not just being like, I don't know, this is a mess. Lock up.
Yeah, because nothing less is anything fucking resembling justice for Victoria.
Right.
So fuck 12.
And also these poor, the poor grandparents, the
Yes.
poor, the
Oh.
other people in her life that loved her
It's so
have to
fucking
hear
sad.
not even just all of the horrific things that did happen to this innocent child,
Yeah.
but also
She's still a baby.
extra horrific made up things.
About their daughter, the mother of their
Yeah.
grandchild. That aren't fucking true.
Yeah.
Your kid's not perfect. She is a mess, but she didn't fucking traffic her baby.
Yeah.
I mean, she did not properly protect her child from these dangerous men that were coming in and out of her home. I
Right.
can't absolve her of that, but she
Right.
didn't fucking traffic her kid.
Right.
Meth is a hell of a drug. Substance
Yeah.
use disorder is fucking deadly in so many ways.
Yeah.
It's just, I get so fucking upset.
It wrecks lives. It wrecks
Yeah.
families. It wrecks
It kills
generations.
people. Innocent people. It's just the fucking worst. So,
Fucks up kids.
Yeah.
Everything.
so Michelle does face 12 to 15 years in prison for the child abuse charge that she took the plea deal for, but her sentencing will also be contingent on the other trials in this case. So in January of 2019, Jessica Kelly also accepted a plea deal, that was presented based on this newly developed evidence. As part of that deal, rape charges against Jessica were dropped, and she pled no contest to 6 charges, including child abuse resulting in death, great bodily harm, aggravated assault, tampering with evidence, and conspiracy to commit tampering with evidence. Jessica is the individual believed to have been seen by witnesses carrying Victoria's body back into the apartment wrapped in a blanket before she was dismembered and lit on fire.
Oh.
So this was a clear attempt to destroy evidence.
Who is this 4th person?
We don't know yet, but I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
So Jessica faces 50 years in prison, and this plea deal also requires her to testify against her cousin Fabian, who also awaits a trial, because Fabian didn't take a plea deal. He wants to go to trial, and based on the new evidence, the rape and murder...
It's like dominoes. Like everything is like waiting on the results, the finding in Fabian's trial to affect Jessica, to affect Michelle. And
they were starting to go to these trials in the year of our end, 2020.
Mm-hmm. And the year of our reptilian demon, 2020.
Seriously. So because of all the fucking COVID and shit, this Fabian's trial has not happened.
Jeez.
We're still fucking waiting. Yeah. It was supposed to happen like last summer or some shit. And now they just keep kicking that fucking can down the road.
Yeah.
So based on the new evidence, the rape
still in prison? Has he been in prison since then?
We will get to it. Will get to it. Based on the new evidence, the rape and murder charges against him were dropped because there is not physical evidence that says he sexually assaulted Victoria or necessarily murdered her, because now that evidence is pointing toward this 4th suspect, with him as an accomplice to it.
Right.
So instead, he's charged with reckless child abuse resulting in death and 8 counts of tampering with evidence. He is awaiting trial under house arrest.
House arrest?
He's home.
For this guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there has been a lot of buzz recently about this trial because the judge presiding over this case has agreed to allow photographs of Victoria's remains to be presented in the court, which, like, the photos from a legal standpoint are relevant to the evidence tampering charges because he's believed to have dismembered her.
Yeah, the jury needs to see that. It directly impacts.
Yeah. But I can't even.
Yeah, but
if
he hasn't been brought to trial, that means there is no jury selected yet.
There is. Like that process is done. It's just the trial has been delayed because of COVID.
Oh my fucking God.
Like the trial was supposed to start in I think summer of 2021, and then most recently it was like, well, we'll see about February of 2022, and it still hasn't happened.
That's actually really fucked up. I mean, from like a defense standpoint, to let the jury sit with all of these photographs, all this evidence.
They haven't seen it yet.
Anything
The trial has not begun. They have jury selection. The jury is not provided with any information until the trial.
Got it.
It's just been decided that they will allow the judge will allow the prosecution to present the photographs in court.
I mean,
no
I think
one's
that's
seen
fair.
them yet. I think so too.
I think it's horrific. I think they belong in a courtroom and nowhere else.
It's so fun. If those photos are out anywhere, I have not seen them. I did not look for them.
No.
God fucking absolutely not.
No.
So what about the 4th suspect who is still to this day being referred to as John Doe? Jessica Kelly likely knows who this man is and is almost certainly using this information as part of her defense, but the DNA belonging to John Doe, which was found on Victoria's back, likely came from skin, sweat, or saliva cells and therefore cannot be compared to samples in the Federal Combined DNA Index System due to a lack of cells allowing a full DNA profile.
Because they also had set her on fire, so a lot of the epithelial DNA is
gone.
Yeah.
Yep. So this means that swabs need to be collected from each person of interest in order to identify a suspect. And without a warrant to do so, based on enough evidence to point to specific individuals, that isn't just Jessica pointing a finger at somebody because she also wants to fucking save her own ass.
Yeah.
It can't be a random person.
No, we don't have that swab, and the investigators don't have enough
to test against a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
You can't just start fucking calling people in and going, "All right, give me your mouth."
And you can't just put them in the database.
Well, they tried. They don't have enough DNA.
There is no database for everybody's all
Exactly.
different types of DNA.
Exactly. So even if they wanted to fucking put the DNA that they do have.
They also probably have one shot at it.
Yep.
And you got to take Jessica's fucking word for it. Convicted.
Which, she'd be a fucking idiot
Monster.
not to tell the truth if she's trying to leverage this information.
She could also have scores that she wants to settle. She
Totally.
She could be afraid of the actual person.
Bunch of different motivations
Yeah.
of who to point the
reasons.
finger to.
And it's these swabs are sure as shit not being offered up willingly by the public. Who's gonna
Right.
fucking come forward and be, unless it's
It's
I
as
absolutely
bad
didn't
as
do it.
a jailhouse informant.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're just stuck in this limbo of there was a fourth person involved in this that likely did kill, assault and kill this child. And then fucking Fabian and Jessica,
Covered
for
it up.
whatever reason,
Or attempted to.
Yeah, tried to cover it up and did a fucking terrible ass job. And now we just don't know. We still don't fucking know exactly what happened.
Just 10.
And and the onus of
After
responsibility.
her birthday.
Yeah, that literally on the night of her birthday. And the onus of responsibility here is fucking vast. We know this. And the grandparents, John and Pat Martens, certainly feel that way. They are disgusted with the justice system, and I cannot fucking blame them for that. In 2017, they filed a lawsuit against the city of Albuquerque for not properly investigating the multiple claims to CYFD regarding Victoria. The lawsuit was dismissed, however, in 2021, but this dismissal was based on the evidence known in the case as of 2018. And a lot has changed since then. So it's likely they will appeal the dismissal and include the updated evidence in the appeal, the statements from police that confess that they didn't look into this shit properly.
So just to clarify, all of the calls to CYFD about Victoria that were never followed up on by police or anyone were made by Michelle.
Correct.
So it's not somebody,
Or the
it's not a
grandparents?
teacher
No,
or something.
it was Michelle.
So Michelle, okay. And those calls all happened before or spanning the time that she met Fabian?
I think that I'm not super clear about, but from what I could gather, it appears that the calls came in throughout roughly the same time period. So they could have all been connected to David or whatever his name was. I as far as I know, there were not necessarily calls directly
About Fabian.
connected to Fabian's behavior.
So, I mean,
And
it's
you'd think that they weren't
possible-
fucking about Fabian.
It's possible that if they had followed up, it would have just been to investigate David and it wouldn't have saved Victoria's life. But it's also very possible, if not probable, that
It would have revealed issues at home, issues with Michelle's drug use, because she was actively using methamphetamines throughout her relationship with David.
Could have been an
Exactly.
intervention.
and she could have accidentally kind of outed herself and we could have gotten Victoria out of that
They could have
situation.
fucking interviewed Victoria.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's what's so fucking infuriating. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, but now we'll never get to fucking know.
Right.
We'll never fucking know, and that poor kid is dead for no fucking reason.
God. Oh my God.
So that's my case.
Thanks, Annie Blackwell.
And why I needed to
Annie
ask for another
Blackwell.
hour 100 times today because I took any opportunity to not write this. I welcomed every call, every need.
Yeah, Amanda was
today.
like, my sister called. I really got to take this.
I really have to take this. I'm going to need another half hour. And she did call. And I did tell her that I threw her under the bus so I could avoid writing these notes. And then she said, I'm getting off the phone. You have to do your job. So
yeah, Ashley's a tough bitch.
she is a tough bitch, holding me fucking accountable. I hate it. I hate
Ashley,
it.
I saw your LinkedIn friend request and I am going to accept it as soon as I remember my LinkedIn password.
I don't.
I haven't logged on to LinkedIn in 7 years.
At least a decade. I get so many emails that are like, so-and-so posted to LinkedIn, and it's always like an X.
I got 3, because I get the notifications to my email.
Yeah, same.
But I don't log in to actually reply to them. But 2 days after Putin invaded Ukraine, I got 3 different...
Putin posted to LinkedIn.
No, I got 3 different LinkedIn messages from different, like, random Russian people.
Bots.
Yeah.
Weird.
Isn't that bizarre?
Well,
they can have my LinkedIn. It's super out of date.
Victoria.
I'm sorry. Don't know how we... Whatever.
It took a hard left.
I needed to take a hard left out of this story. I needed to
Palate
for my
cleanser.
health.
We really
I'm so
did.
sorry.
R.I.P. Victoria. Jesus Christ. Who died in your case? Girlie. God damn
Fucking
it.
Girlie.
Girlie
I
and
know.
Victoria. Thank you, kind of, to Annie Blackburn.
Yeah, thanks, Annie. I gotta go.
Thanks.
Well, we'll see you next week. Thanks, Annie. Bye.
Bye-bye.